Oh my god, it's a cat riding a horse! I can already see what this is gonna be like.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
Hello, my name is Torn, and today I'm going to talk about the fifth game in the Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim.
Time to end
The
this
Elder
little
Scrolls
game.
design, discovery, and exploration is continual, with much more caves, castles, and dungeons to explore than ever before. Skyrim has greatly increased the visuals of its predecessor, Oblivion. The game has one of the largest draw distances I have ever seen, with little to no actual background picture as you can explore everything you can see. Bethesda has done an amazing job to make this look as real as possible with the current generation consoles. The realism of the weather effects is the most stunning I've seen in a game of this magnitude. There were some minor video glitches, such as the water and Whiterun not always displaying correctly, and some walk animations that would become a hover from time to time. Voice acting is much better than the previous titles, with great actors and hours of unique dialogue that will change depending on how NPCs view or feel about your character.
Well met, Traveler. What brings you to Whiterun? Ah, so it's gold you're after then. You need only ask about it.
Sadly, the number of voices is still limited, and I found myself quickly being able to identify the race of the character simply by their voice alone.
That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat. Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the restoration school.
The NPCs also have a stagnant expression during conversation, and some have no emotion to what should be an urgent situation.
The Thalmor. By the Nine, it's worse than I thought.
However, this game is truly brought to life by the epic soundtracks provided to complement the already compelling adventure. The game starts out like any usual Elder Scrolls game, where the character has been arrested and luckily, for some unseen event that's about to happen, is going to be allowed to live. In this case, the Imperial town is destroyed by a once-thought legendary creature, a dragon.
Legends don't burn down villages.
The game quickly progresses as you find out that the dragons have returned as part of a prophecy foretold by the Elder Scrolls, and only the player, a Dragonborn, with the power to slay dragons and steal their powers, can discover why the dragons have returned to Tamriel and bring Skyrim back to peace. Character creation is much less demanding this time around, as the only thing you're required to choose at the start of the game is your race, which is the same 10 used in previous games. The celestial sign of a character can now be chosen by finding standing stones, which can be changed at any time in the game. Main stats have all been removed, and now you only have to worry about health, magicka, and stamina, which are allowed to increase one of these by 10 each time you level up. Each experience level also grants you a perk point that can be placed into any one of the talent trees. These points provide unique bonuses new to Elder Scrolls games, such as lower mana cost, additional crafting options, and combat skills, to only name a few. Most of the skills have seen an overhaul. Enchanting and crafting have seen change for the better, making these skills powerful and worth investing into very quickly. While other skills such as alchemy has become more worthless than ever before, due to having to follow specific recipes and the cost of materials greatly weighing the price of the cheap potions. The biggest change to the game has to be the combat. You now have more options than just swinging a sword or a simple spell. For a melee character, be ready to try dual wielding or some added shield play to spice up the melee combat, in addition to the usual normal melee power attacks and effects. Magic users can now choose to use a weapon and a spell at the exact same time, or assign two different spells to each hand. Also, with a perk, you can place the same spell in both hands to create a more powerful version by casting both at the exact same time. Finally, the introduction of dragon shouts adds a new element to the game. The shouts are learned by obtaining dragon souls from fallen dragons and unlocking discovered dragon words around the world. These powers can range from a simple knockback to breath attacks, or even the more powerful storm-calling shouts to deliver electric death. I didn't like the game's menu system that much. It just felt awkward using the directional buttons for choices rather than just simply using the X button. My main concern with this game was the difficulty imbalance. As this is open world, I understand the difficulty is going to be challenged to balance. However, the game does stridently promote exploration, and I found that the quests being, well, rather easy. The wild creatures, such as the giants, tigers, and bears, would just kill me in one or two hits. If you haven't played an Elder Scrolls game before, I highly recommend that you give this game a try. I found myself making tons of new characters, wanting to get the feel for all the playstyles, and frantically searching around the world for dragons, new dungeons to explore. More so than I found the main story or even side quests. This game really does promote exploration. It's a lot of fun to really go around and just explore the world how you want to do it. If you're in the trophies, this game will take some time to get the platinum, but it's more about time consuming than difficult, so take your time and enjoy the game. We've been promised some DLC around the corner, which I hope it to be a small island or another realm to explore. Also, if you haven't noticed it yet, there's a bunny slaughtering stat, so go ahead and post up your bunny kill count. Thank you for watching this week's Trophy Hunter review of Skyrim, and if you enjoyed this video game review, give me a thumbs up and subscribe.